was never supposed to be a writer. Teachers, counselors, and a principal literally told me in elementary school that I should just not pursue higher education because it really wasn't for kids like me. But fast forward 12 years later, I'm about to be a traditionally published debut author. My book, The Enemy of Time, is an adult romance, which you can pre-order now, by the way. And here's my story about how I became a traditionally published author even when everyone told me not to. In 4th grade, I was diagnosed with dyslexia, dysgraphia, dyscalculia, and ADHD. So basically like a love triangle of learning disabilities. But no matter what, I always loved stories and I loved movies, I loved TV shows, and I loved immersing myself in these greater and bigger than me worlds. And now my parents are probably to blame for this because there's actually a video of my dad rocking me as a 6-month-old baby to the movie Lord of the Rings. So maybe we'll blame them. Then came high school, it was my junior year, and my mom shoved me into a Shakespeare class. As I was in the front row of the class having a literal panic attack, you know, trying to breathe in one of those little paper bags, yeah. Our teacher, Jennifer Horn, made everything different. Here's the thing, nobody can read Shakespeare perfectly the first time out. And when your teacher gives you like hats and costumes and like literally is making you act it out in front of all of your friends and like your other friend is acting it out with you and you both are butchering the whole thing, it's freaking hilarious, okay? You're not worried about what you're saying or if you're saying it wrong because you know you are. And then one day she took the Shakespeare play and she put it on the whiteboard and she wanted us to change it up, make our own story out of a Shakespeare play. And my brain literally went light bulb moment. That night I went home and I was literally at the time filling out college applications. For fashion design, mind you. And at the dinner table, I nicely told my parents, guess what, guys? I want to scrap every college application, start from scratch, and actually apply to be a writer. I entered university at Southern New Hampshire University, and I got a dual degree in English and creative writing with a concentration in screenwriting, 2 minors in art history and psychology because I have no decision-making skills. I told you guys I have ADHD, it's a problem. While I was in college, I immediately started writing my first book, my beautiful, beautiful first book that was a horrible first draft. And I did what we should all never ever do, which is I sent out my first draft to agents. And then after I got, you know, slapped by reality, I decided to do one of those in-person writer conventions. I met Alexandria Brown from Rising Action Publishing, and no, she did not publish YA, and I booked time with her, and I was like, hi, you publish only adult. I'm making you read a YA. I am so sorry. We stayed in contact and became friends, and it was like, I think 6 months later that we were texting, and she said, hey, do you wanna do a Zoom call? And we were gonna talk about that book. She was helping me, you know, present that to other people, and as we were in the conversation and everything, I had mentioned this short story I was doing in college, which one of my professors was obsessed with, and she said, oh my gosh, this is a story that you have to turn into a book. And I was like, I don't really know how to turn something that was short into a full story. And I was talking to Alex about it on the phone, and she was like, you know, if you finish that pretty fast and you wanna send it along to me, sounds like something I might be interested in. Like any ambitious 20-year-old, I very quickly started writing, and in about 40 days got it sent to her. And the rest is history. That's how The Enemy of Time found its home and truly came to be.